Gate 14 podcast, and the last one technically of the year for a couple weeks here. How are we feeling, boys? How are we feeling? I mean, we're watching playoff ball, and it's not the Blue Jays. How are we feeling, JR? Heartbroken?
I mean, it's pretty heartbroken. I think it's worse that the Phillies and the Braves. I mean, the Phillies beat the Braves game one, and then like the D-backs, like you think they would have no chance against the Dodgers, but like the way that team's built, it's just like it kind of makes it worse that we could have been a team that could have made a splash.
Especially with a team like the D-backs who have no pitching that are just beating the fucking wheels off of the Dodgers, dude. It's wild. Avery, how are you feeling? Because Avery texted me and he's like, I feel free. And that's the best way to describe it. Like, I feel free. It's just like we got rid of the toxic ex, aka the Toronto Blue Jays who can't hit. And now it's just like we're just watching ball to watch ball.
I feel liberated. Like I'm happy. I'm pretty sure I hated watching this team play. Love the guys. Love the Toronto Blue Jays. The style of baseball they played this year was fucking horrible.
We were Guardians fans for a year. That's what we were this year. It's like, you know what this is? This is like that scene, and maybe someone could edit it at the end of those like movies where it's just like the credits, and it's like da, 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 here I go, da, 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 and it just pauses on Avery, and Avery's just like, Avery's the happiest he's ever been since the final out. Like, you know, it's just like an update of our lives. Avery went on to be the happiest he's ever been.
I never have
That's
to.
a great point. We did a lot of hate watching. If you look back on the streams, it was a lot of hate watching. A lot of it.
The last 2 days were peak hate watching. It's like we got mad about things we'd seen all year, and it just brought back more PTSD. Last season, I was devastated.
Because it was a good team. A good and enjoyable team to watch.
Yeah, they played offense and couldn't stop anyone in the bullpen, but whatever. I had fun. It was like, my life, as soon as Blue Jay season ended last season, what am I going to do with myself? This year, I feel like I got my life back. It's just so different. It's the happiest I've ever been. You're right.
Because last year there was that hope of like, man, these bats string it together. We saw it game 2. They put up an 8 spot. We're like, oh, we got game 3 at our barn coming up here. Obviously, that's not what happened at the end there, but there was a little bit of hope. The Jays were pretty much dead from the first pitch in that series. And I know we're not going to go back into that series, but yeah, I feel liberated. And you know what? I've talked myself into the Jays just getting a shit ton of old power bats like JD Martinez, Jorge Soler. Just give me them all. Give me all of them. Let's have an open tryout of just old heads that just hit baseballs into fucking orbit. Let's do a full-on tryout. Why not?
Buddy.
Bring back Teo and his fucking 700 strikeouts.
I'm not kidding when I think there's a good chance that happens.
That would be funny.
That would be. And this is a funny team, though. That's what they do. Before we go into the season, let's go into the Ross Atkins press conference on Saturday. Absolutely wild, right? Just John Schneider was probably watching that at home and it was like, what the fuck, Ross? He's pretty much. I found out when the fans found out of the pitching change. It was a wild move. I've never seen anything like it. Just couldn't have said more things to make John Schneider hate it.
And then followed it up by saying he's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. He pretty much grabbed him, threw him under the bus, beat the shit out of his dead corpse under the bus, and then was like, oh, yeah, but he's coming back next year. That's what he did.
Yeah, he did a great job. He's coming back.
Yeah, he's done a great job of developing this team. It's to look back on it now, it's just so fucking funny. This was just the funniest year ever. Like, we got guys like, things could not have worked out worse for Ross Atkins. I mean, you sign Brandon Belt for his postseason presence. The guy goes 0 for a million in the postseason. You trade for Dalton Varsho and obviously trade away quote unquote generational catcher, as my Twitter timeline says. The dude hits a baseball into the LA sky last night against Clayton Kershaw. Ross Atkins, it's been a tough week for Ross. It's been a really tough week for Ross. I don't know. That has to be one of the hardest jobs in baseball, right? The Toronto Blue Jays GM. You have an entire country behind you. Like, it has to be, right?
No, I think there's two harder ones in the division.
Yankees, I guess, and Red Sox.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Way
just,
more
I don't know if it's just
scrutinized.
elevated because of the Toronto and like the Canada stuff. I know it's a smaller population than both those cities, I think, but it's Ross Atkins. It is a miracle he's not an alcoholic. This is the worst possible year for him. And I know the discourse, I'll say it, that Gabriel Moreno swing looked awesome yesterday. He fucking shot on that baseball, dude. That ball was sent it to Mars. But what did you guys? I mean, JR had some choice words for the Ross Atkins press conference in our group chat.
You always know when JR's on the beat or JR has some free
JR's
time.
on the beat. What did you think, JR? What was your thought process there?
I just thought, like, if that was actually his decision, I mean, like, it's just like, okay, well, then you should more reason to get rid of him. It felt like a Dubas Leafs. That was like the comparison was like the Leafs. Like, I just think there's better options. Like, look at Texas now that they have a veteran manager. I mean, looks like they're going to be making a run. But I mean, I don't know. I just think Snyder, the entire year, he was under a microscope. What he did last year and then what he did this year was just like, if it truly like Atkins, like, I don't know why he would lie in a press conference, but it was obviously all Snyder's decision, or at least his team, which is ultimately his call. I mean, I don't know. I was just pissed. I was just like, fuck, there's just going to be no change. I'm not really loyal to Snyder, I'd say. I guess the players like him. I assume the players
I don't
like
think they
him,
do.
but like I don't think they really
I
like
don't think
him.
they do like him. I don't.
We've seen frustration, like even like some of the situations this year when Chapman was pissed at Snyder. I think there's a couple other ones, but I just don't think there was a reason to keep him, really. I think you could go out and pay someone and get some veteran in there. I mean, at the end of the day, what really is a manager doing? Like, they're just making sure the clubhouse is in good shape, and then it's really the scenarios with the pitching, and it seems like Snyder can't fucking
He
run.
can't figure that out to save his
He
life.
can't figure that out. So
And
that's like the one important thing that you need your manager to be doing, and I don't think Snyder can do it.
nothing aged better than Avery and us saying that how nervous are we for John Schneider in the playoffs, and Avery going like 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking nervous. So listener went back to it and responded to it and said this aged well, which obviously it did. But what this brought up though, and the takes on the internet were flying this weekend, just flying. I saw someone tweet that Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro were hired by Rogers to lose on purpose so the renovations could get started earlier. Which is like that. I mean, we might just be previewing the Gate 14 Awards. That might be the take of the year. That is the craziest thing. And then we had Blue Jays dad tweet that Buck Martinez should be running the team. The dude that can't even pronounce names in the fucking
said that?
He wants him running the team. We've had some crazy takes.
Blue Jays dads should get a little absurd.
Twitter, once the season ends, is great because everyone thinks they can save the team.
I love too the reports that there was players going into Snyder's locker room and saying like, we know it wasn't your fault, blah blah blah, for making that call, and then all those reports were just completely false because it was his call.
Didn't
like
Ross
Mike
say
Wilner
they gave...
guaranteed? Mike Wilner guaranteed that it was not John Schneider's call. Guaranteed it on Twitter and just hit away like a little pussy he is. But
didn't Ross Atkins also say they give their guys too little information?
Yeah. So he pretty much was saying that they need to listen to us more. That's what got out of that.
Just Ross Atkins.
Where are you with it now? Because you and YJ's fight have fought every day about it. The move.
Do I think it was dumb? I think you still have to have feel in the game of baseball, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Snyder didn't. Looking back at it, I think Snyder did not think the Twins would pinch hit twice and put those players out of the lineup. So he thought Kikuchi was just going to get 2 lefties. But then they fucking pinch hit. And he was probably like, "Fuck, I'm going to get crucified."
Listen, John Schneider can thank the offense for being cat shit to kind of saving his ass, because at the end of the day, like, you could put Cy Young in there, you didn't score a run. So like that pitching change doesn't matter, which is why the discourse is kind of dumb now. Do I agree with taking a guy out after 3 innings because statistics say that they give up more runs the more innings they give up? No fucking shit. I mean, that's just that's basic math. But like, I at some point you got to have a little bit of feel, you know, like you got to have a little bit of feel. And I guarantee you, we ask the guys that are coming on the podcast this offseason. I don't know if they'll answer it actually, but if they were surprised by the move, or if they would have done that, I guarantee you they go back to the having a sense of feel to it, right? Like
I almost felt like I understand why he came out when he did. I would have just said, "Fuck it, give him a clean inning, let him start,
give Kikuchi a clean inning." Yeah.
You
can just be in the middle there. Give Kikuchi a clean inning. Nothing wrong with that. Especially the way Brios. I mean, Brios looked good, man, but
he can't keep talking about that. Like that was Royce Lewis. I mean, he put up that was a great approach to even Royce Lewis. But I mean, it's not. I mean, Kikuchi is. I'm pretty sure he had no playoff experience, right?
I don't think he does. I don't think.
Well, he was with the Mariners before.
Yeah, so he has none.
And he didn't throw any innings last year.
Yeah, so it's a weird situation, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, the Ross Atkins thing is funny. Where's the leash now with John Schneider? Like, let's say this team starts out. Let's say this team starts out like 10-20. Is he gone?
No, because all the good managers are going to have a job.
Yeah, that's the issue. Unless they should
have a job.
They'll have a guy in there on the squad that does.
I will say this though, and I'm thinking about getting him on in the offseason. Hopefully he's not fired by that time. I do think Guillermo Martinez is gone.
Yeah.
I think that's like a Guillermo Menti. Guillermo T. It's a Guillermo T. He gets fired. I really do. I mean,
think of how often you're with a hitting coach and his approach and stuff didn't work this year. Yeah. Sure, he could make a 180 pivot.
Yeah.
But why would you listen to a guy after you listen to him all season and now he's totally teaching you something different the next year?
Yeah.
I think Vladdy Senior, maybe, right, guys? Vladdy Senior, head coach.
It's just Matt Haig, right?
It's Matt Haig. Horny for Haig, bro.
I think it's just
we got to get him on. I think we'll be able to get him on. Ernie's pretty close to them, so I'll be able to get him on for us.
Okay. Well, hopefully he can break that he's the Blue Jays hitting coach.
On this pod, having Shy and all those guys credit us would rock because they didn't credit Johnny Sources. But yeah, man, it's just one of the worst years ever. Make believe 89 win team. What would you say? Let's go into breaking some stuff down here. What was the biggest disappointment? You can't say the offense, like individual. The biggest disappointment for you this year?
Vlad?
What about you, Jay?
Holy shit, I almost choked. I legitimately thought he was so I talked about him for fantasy for work. I thought he was a first round player. Like he would figure things out. Thought he had a good spring training swing wise. I have no idea what the stats were, but
yeah,
thought he had figured something out. Maybe he's just a Florida merchant and he just loves hitting at minor league parks. Maybe that's what he's good at.
What about you, JR?
I'd go Kirk. I think it's like I don't even mind the Varsho trade that much.
Clockwork for JR. Kirk.
But I mean, yeah, I think Kirk, it's just like if he's not hitting, he's just an absolute plug. And the fact that Danny like literally took over his spot.
No, that's not true, dude. He's very good defensively. Right, JR? Avery? He's really good defensively.
I think he was saying more like plug on the base pass. No good.
Yeah, plug on the base pass. Not behind
the
plate. Yeah. Because he can't hit for fucking power. But yeah, I would go Kirk. I mean, it just makes that trade worse because it could have been we could have probably got something really good for Kirk.
I'm betting on a good Kirk bounce back.
You think so? And someone made a good point. I think it was Nene Takes about Kirk. He said Kirk spent all of last offseason really emphasizing defense, and his defense was incredible this year. giving him now a full offseason when not having to worry about a childbirth. Like, I mean, is he playing the World Baseball Classic? This, that. I'm buying stock in him next year. I'll buy stock. I mean, this is a guy that 129 weighted runs created plus last year, hit 285, 3.9 WAR. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, Avery. I do think it's gonna be a bounce back year.
The things that made him good as well was pretty sure just a good line drive percentage, and he didn't swing at balls. He made a ton of good contact, and those metrics were decently similar this year. So the underlying things that make him good were still there. It was just the balls in play weren't hit as hard, not as many line drives, way too much shit on the ground. He's got a great knack for fucking making contact. I think he'll be, I bet on him to have a bounce back next season. I think he'll get in better shape again. He has to. And again,
he's forced to. He has to.
And the weird start to the season where the child World Baseball Classic showing up late to camp threw off a whole season. So I'll give him the benefit of that.
Yeah. And my disappointment, you guys can hear me, right? I sound fine.
Yep. You sound
great.
Great.
You're just a little laggy, but you're good.
So my disappointment this year has to be George Springer, fellas.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, 104 weighted runs created plus, the lowest in his career by 20. By 20. Massive decline, and I'm not going to bring up pull percentage, stuff like that, but massive decline in pulling the baseball. Didn't look good at all for a long, long time of the year. I know he went on that little Lynn Sandy run for 3 weeks, but this is the guy you paid $140 million, $150 million to, and he's putting up a 104 weighted runs created plus. I mean, last year he had 133, the year before 140, the year before 143, and this year a 104 weighted runs created plus with a 2.2 WAR. Absolutely terrible this year. Not great, man.
This is where I go back to why Vlad and Kirk are more obviously Manoah's number one disappointment of the season, but he basically wasn't on the team. So I think that's why we left him off that list. George Springer is an aging bat. Vladdy's not an aging bat. Kirk is not an aging bat. So George Springer, a guy coming off elbow surgery, probably could use an increase in bat speed to kind of get him back. Like the age curve is gonna catch up with him if he doesn't do something to fix it soon. That's why I'm more okay with older players getting worse instead of our guys that should be heading into their prime getting
like
worse.
Vladdy, Kirk, Varsho got worse.
Yeah. I think ideal Springer hitting like 6 next year would be really good if we could find someone like in the top half.
I want Jorge. I've talked myself into Soler. I really have. I don't know if he's even a free agent. I genuinely don't know.
I think he is. Him and JD.
I've really talked myself into Jorge Soler. Another thing from the Ross Atkins press conference, speaking about Vladdy, Avery. So Vladdy's just going to stay in Florida in the offseason, hanging out with Kodak and company in Florida. I mean, what does this mean? What do you think this means? Is he just going to just be working with like computers all day? Is he going to be doing his own individual drive line? Like, where are we at here? What is this? Do you think this is going to be?
I love that report of just like he's just
he's getting
Florida. Like he's just going to be locked in a prison
put it
cell.
best. Zoom said Vladdy. They put Vladdy on timeout. They gave him detention.
They gave him a 3-month timeout in Dunedin.
Yeah.
It's good for him. I think it's good for the conditioning standpoint of it. And hitting lab, I don't know what they really do there with their hitters that they can get into, because drive line is not a remote thing. You go to Seattle for it.
Yeah.
To go see them. So I think it can't be a bad thing. You put him on a regimen, you have him lifting all the times, someone's seeing over that. It should be a good thing for him. He might hate it by the end of it, but if he gets into much better shape, finds the fucking launch angle, gets to elevating baseballs again, we could be in a good spot.
Very good spot.
I heard something. I was talking to someone who works for the Jays about their Dunedin facility, and they're just like pouring money into that thing.
They should, like, if you're not putting money into player development, you're wasting your money at the major league level.
Yeah. So that's
it's like the Yankees. You could spend all the money on the old guys who are good, but unless you keep up with the times, it's kind of a waste at some point, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I I just want Vladdy to be good, man. I'm just looking back on 2021 and I'm watching like your Dawn hit and I'm watching all these big dogs hit that are supposed to be clutch guys for other teams. And I'm like, can we get that with our guy? Can we get that with Vladdy, please? Like, I'm watching fucking Harper launch balls. And this is the guy that was talked about in those categories, Dave. Like you talked about, like a first round draft pick in fantasy. Like Vladdy should be in the same conversations as these big guys, not like a Harper, a guys like that. And the dude had a worse weighted runs creative plus than fucking, I don't even like, what's his face? Than just dog shit players, platoon guys, and other teams. Like terrible. So I agree with you, Abe. That makes a lot of sense.
All right,
let's go to the next one then.
Our favorite player of the season.
Yeah. I was gonna say the best player.
Yeah, same thing.
Like biggest surprise, maybe we'll do biggest surprise and then best. Who was the biggest surprise for you, Abe?
Two of them. One of them came on this podcast preseason, and the other one we got a picture with partway through the season. Yeah. Danny Jansen, Yusei Kikuchi.
Yusei Kikuchi turning into just like a competent number 3 guy. Didn't he? I know we're gonna look back on this, but didn't he have like a 15-game run where he had like a sub 280 ERA? Oh, it was after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, he had the lowest ERA in baseball for like a 2-month time period.
He was sick, dude. He was fucking sick. And do I think he can be as good next year? Yeah, I think he can. I think he made some tangible changes, and you could tell pitching coaches were working with him. By the way, the repertoire changed during the season. Yes. Right? It was like add the curveball back, take the curveball away, try something else. These grips. They were working. He was listening. Things worked out. So hats off to the pitching lab for that one as well. And then Jano, just a fucking dog. Old school Blue Jays baseball, launching home runs to left field. He's all we got. He's all we got left of the good days. So I think Jano was awesome again this year. Fuck, man. We just bubble wrap him, man. Please.
He was on like a 35 home run pace for 162 games.
Well, has he played 162 games the last 2 years combined?
No, I don't think he has.
I don't think so either. But I bet if you combine those last 2 years and what he's done, it's been pretty good. 86 and 72.
Yeah, that's barely. No, that's actually not it, right? It's 4 games away. So yeah, that's 32 home runs in his last 100 and
yeah. So last 2 years,
158 games.
158 games. He has an OPS plus of 127, 32 home runs, 97 RBIs, and an OPS of 817, hitting 242. So obviously you'll never get 162 from a catcher. Mm-hmm. It'd be nice to get 120 from him.
Yeah.
Those numbers are sick the last 2 years.
He's the best. He's the fucking best. What about you, Jared? Who was the most surprising?
I'd go Barrios. Tim Meza up there.
Nice. Yeah.
And I think the Buffalo boys, they got to have some sort of love. Like I think before the season, I mean, I wouldn't even think of any of them making a real impact with the team. And I think there's now just like a handful of guys that are going to be ready to play on this team next year, which I would have probably never expected, at the start of the year. So shout out to those guys.
And that's what Ross also said too, is like, he's going to be looking a lot from within for options. Right. So maybe this is going to be the funniest 84 win team in baseball next year, which they shouldn't be, but yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm going to go a little bit off the path here for my most surprising player of the year this year. Obviously, I don't know if this is even off the beaten path. I'm going to go Schneider, man, like Davis Schneider. And obviously, I mean, listen. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go Schneider and Kiermaier because I genuinely thought Kiermaier was going to hit like 206 and just be good defensively. He was good defensively, put up good offensive numbers, looked incredible. And Davis Schneider, I mean, this is the guy. Did we even talk about this guy start of the year? I don't think we ever mentioned him.
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't think we ever mentioned him. Maybe we mentioned him like halfway through the year about like this guy's raking in AAA, call him up, But Schneider looked pretty good defensively, and he was the reason this team was winning games when Bo Bichette wasn't playing. So obviously those are the two guys for me that are most surprising. Who was your favorite player to watch this year, Avery?
Oh, shit. Chris Bassett.
Because he just looks always like he wants to kill someone on the mound.
Old school ball.
Yeah. He's just a pitcher. He's a pitcher's pitcher.
Gosman too. Gosman and Bassett.
Gosman's good.
What about you, Abe or JR?
Favorite player to watch. It was nice seeing Hicks throw 102, 103.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Fuck, I
love
forgot about
shit.
that.
I'd probably go Hicks, and then Davis Snyder was just that run he went on was just that's one of those stories that makes you feel like you can maybe make the pros, you know?
Yeah. Like just like a blue collar guy, and you meet him,
Yeah.
and he's
crazy,
just the most
Jay.
normal fucking dude ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like the most normal dude ever. I want to probably say like most exciting player to watch for me is I'm gonna have to agree with JR. Like Jordan Hicks was a goddamn roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was games he'd walk 3 guys and just get out of it with like 3 easy punchies or like 2 dog shit pop-ups or anything like that. That's the fastest pitcher that's ever pitched for the Toronto Blue Jays ever. And it was awesome to watch it on our side because we used to get guys facing us doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we bringing guys out of the pen, throwing 102 with 17-inch vertical break, or horizontal break. Sorry, no, it's vertical, right, Dave?
Vertical would be up and down.
Horizontal break. But yeah, that was my guy for me. Hicksy's the best. I hope they bring him back. I really do. That would be that would fucking rule. But it just seems like, man, I like not to loom on the season. I feel like everything, and I don't know if the numbers back this up, everything that happened after that Atlanta Braves series was just hell for me. Like that was the most fun, like that entire stretch, because the Braves series was, I believe, the week after the Rays one, where they swept the Rays at home or took 2 or 3 from the Rays when the Rays were undefeated. The Jays were the first team to beat them. That month and a bit stretch there, those Jays had when the Jays, like Danny Jansen walk off on Sunday to sweep the series, like beat the best team in the NL. Everything after that seemed like hell for me. Like that team was unreal at that point.
At one point, you said it was the best Blue Jays team you'd ever seen.
Yeah, I did say that. That might be a take of the year for the Gate 14 Awards. That might actually be.
It's up there as well, but you weren't crazy wrong at that time.
Oh, yeah. They were playing good defense, hitting, scoring runs, beating good teams. Bullpen was insane. Starting pitching staff was insane. Yeah, at that time, it wasn't a bad take. And maybe now I've kind of live and learn that you can't be having takes like that in May. You can't
the takes are a long game.
Yeah. Let's go to some listener questions, Dave. I mean, that's pretty much season recap. Like a lot of disappointments, not to loom on it, but we'll call this episode Goodbye 2023.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's tons of it's a shitstorm trying to get through this.
Yeah.
I should have sorted this before. And don't fucking talk in the episode questions thing in the Discord anymore. It always fucks me up.
They're just having combos.
Yeah, they just like answer other people's questions that are for me to try and read, and I can't sift through them quickly. What team are we rooting for now?
Oh, that's obvious.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's obvious.
This is a Philadelphia Phillies podcast.
Yeah, this is a Phillies podcast from here on out. I am excited to see it, and hopefully, Avery, we can get owner's box to get us down there.
We're trying to go to Philly on Thursday.
Yes,
because
that'll be Strider against Wheeler. Because they're going to probably skip the Ranger, or at least Ranger one of those games.
So that would
but
be
if it's
what,
like
game 5 if they get there?
Game 4.
Game 4.
So as long as the Braves win 1, the game is happening.
If owner's box makes that happen, I'll do it.
What would you need owner's box to pay for? Hotels?
Just hotel and tickets. We can soak the gas.
Yeah.
That's a good bargain right there.
Any company wants to pay for that, we'll go.
And then LA Phillies, man.
Yeah. LA's dead. Sorry, JR. But yeah, no, it's the Phillies, and it's not even close. It really isn't even close. I don't care about any other team. I got a rooting interest in the Phillies. Me and Avery got pretty close with Schwarber and Bryson. So yeah, it's them or bust. That's it.
All right. What are the Gate 14 plans for the offseason?
I was gonna go towards this at the end of the episode, but I guess I can kind of break it down now. So yeah, our plans for the offseason, we got to do the me versus Avery pitching video.
Yeah.
Like I'll pitch, you hit, you pitch, I hit, like just both, because that'll be a long video. So what my goals are after next week is I'm going to start reaching out to guys. I'm going to try to get a new guy on the podcast every single week in the off season. if not close to it, or every other week. I probably know 10 to 12 guys on the team, and just me based off of networking, and I'm sure we can get some other guys through like Bassett and all those type of guys. They can help us out. But for the offseason, I'm going to try to get a new Blue Jays player on every single week to kind of just keep it with Blue Jays baseball, but kind of also keep up with some of the guys on the team and just kind of tap in and learn more about them. So we didn't take advantage of that last year, but this year I have more connections than the team now, so it'll be easier. And yeah, just trying to get like a guest on every single week. And obviously we're going to do a lot of like I want to do the verse, really tap into the verses. We're gonna have way more time to do that now, like the spelling bee, like just stuff like that. We'll come up with good stuff, and then the award show will be in November, like last year, right?
I have rewatched the Gate 14 Awards twice in the last month, and I think they get funnier every time.
We gotta start brainstorming questions at work, Avery. Like, just if something comes to our mind, just write it down in a Word document, because I'll say it. When I saw the Block of the Year award, I totally forgot about that. That was fucking funny. Like, I was like, all right, like we're like the first couple were just like baseball things, like blocking the plate, and then like Alejandro Kirk blocked this ball, and then just Mike Wilner, like the Block of the Year. He might be another. We're gonna run it back a lot with these awards. I think we got to keep the Bradley Zimmer award.
I almost want to like. I know they're the Gate 14 Awards. I almost want to make them the Bradley Zimmer Awards in some way, or like, the trophy is a statue of Bradley Zimmer.
And I already reached out to a lot of players. I reached out to Bassett, and I reached out to Swanee, and all those guys, and they're going to be announcing the awards.
Really?
Yeah. So
fuck, it would be cool to do it live somewhere. At Taco.
I think that'll be funny, having those guys announce it for us, just like cutting, and then like we'll announce the recipients, and then like we cut to like Chris Bassett in his backyard saying, "What's up, everyone? It's Chris Bassett here. The winner of the Block of the Year award is Mike Wilner." Like, that would be fucking comedy.
That would go crazy on Twitter.
Yeah,
that would go crazy.
Yeah. So there's this year with us being bigger, and honestly, if listeners want to send in some funny stuff, I know we have a lot of funny listeners that could come up with some funny awards, but if you want to send in some recommendations for the awards, and we can kind of go from there. But
Patriot of the Year,
like, which one?
Patriot of the Year, Dave
Hudgens, Anthony Bass. Yeah, Patriot of the Year. That's a good one.
Anthony Bass winning Tweet of the Year with all three of him being the nominees is going to be fucking seen.
The Tweet of the Year, the popcorn incident, is going to just be the funniest shit ever.
Oh my God. He might win Blue Jay of the Year too.
What?
There's not as many random Blue Jays this year as last year. Like,
no, there was though.
But like, we know Hagen Danner. Who was the other guy who only played one game? Like Mason McCoy, I guess, is pretty random. Like, we had Gosei Kato play games for the Blue Jays last season. That was And who was it? Jonathan Beasley, Sean Anderson. There's some real random ones 2 years ago.
Like the Mason McCoy he's gonna win that award. That's clear. Yeah, but we're gonna still do stuff, but it won't be as much. Like, I think we got to take a little bit of a break, obviously, with that. Like, for the next couple of weeks, kind of relax and just like live our lives, because we're fucking dedicated to this for so long. But yeah, like we'll still be doing stuff for you guys, man. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try to get more players on the podcast and stuff like that during the off season. For me, it's better to do it in the off season, to be honest.
It is
like
fun.
get guys on and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. So, well, how long do you think we're gonna take a break? 2 weeks?
I say like just miss next week episode and then record. So record in 2 weeks, you know?
Fine with that. Think a little catch up. It doesn't have to be a long episode, but we'll catch up with.
Yeah.
Catch up with the crew. Hopefully there'll be some news. I don't think there really can be any news between now and then, but whatever.
Yeah.
How many wins do we have if we swapped coaching staffs with the Braves?
Are the Braves a good coach team?
They did something right. Their cheating staff or whatever however they did that.
The Braves,
they do something right.
I don't think it'd make that much of a difference. I really don't.
Could they make Vlad hit the ball in the air?
Yeah, like Ron Washington rocks, though. I will say that.
I will throw a bag at him to be the third base coach and infield coach. Yeah, rest in peace, Luis Rivera.
Yeah, Luis Rivera gone too. I mean, he's been here for a while. I didn't even realize that.
What the fuck is his name? Why did I
Luis
forget?
Rivera.
Okay. I knew his name. I didn't forgot how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Interesting that after you lose it, you just hang him up right away. That's the most accurate thing that's ever happened. Just as soon as things go bad, just quit. And
well, no, what happened is he saw no one at third base or had to send no one at home during the wild card series, and he's like, I'm
just like, you guys don't need anyone.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you guys don't need me here, you know? So
waste of money.
Yeah, he said fuck it. He said fuck it, I'm out. Packed his bags right after Minnesota and just did do you think he Irish exited?
Yeah, I think he just packed his shit and left. Put his resignation letter on his stool.
Say, John, I left something on your you know what? Luis Rivera strikes me as like a really shy guy where he didn't want to quit in front of John Schneider. So he went back to the ballpark like late at night before everyone got to like pack their stuff the next day and just left a note on John Schneider's desk and just texted John, like, I left something on your desk for you.
Let me know when you see it.
Let me know when you see it. Let me know when you see it on the desk. You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
Who is more likely to return to their old form, Vlad or Alek Manoah?
I'm going to say Vladdy because Vladdy in my mind is like an actual. I do think Vladdy is good. Like, obviously, this year was really bad. He's still very young. I do think he's still good. Manoah is, for me, and maybe I hope he makes me eat his words, he's a fucking lost cause. He's a bum. Like, he is a fucking lazy fuck. And him not wanting to go to AAA, fuck you. It's going to get a clip next year when he has like a 2.8 and just rakes and is another Cy Young, or carves another Cy Young favorite. But yes, fuck you, Alek Manoah.
Jer?
I like Vlad. You think they try and put Manoah in the bullpen?
No, I don't.
No. I just did the Anthony Bass tweet.
What is it?
I copy and pasted the flight attendant to United just made my 22-week pregnant wife travel with a 5-year-old.
Oh my God. That's going to be numbers. All right. This guy.
I'm Team Vladdy. I want to make that clear. Did he piss me off when he got picked off in one of the biggest moments of the year and didn't hit? Sure. Yeah, he pissed me off, but I still think he's going to be good. Okay. And if he does it next year, pack your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think the possibility is of signing one of the foreign players in the offseason, Yamamoto or Jung-Ho Lee?
Avery, you're going to top me into that. I'm not quite familiar.
So, Yamamoto's a right-handed pitcher from Japan, and he put up fucking stupid numbers. And then,
well, he's the guy you said was the best pitcher in the world, right?
No, that's Rogi Sasaki.
That's 16-year-old. Is that the 16-year-old?
No, he's not that young. But
which one's more realistic for you, Avery?
I have no clue. The Jays were at a bunch of Yamamoto starts this year. Jung-Ho Lee, I'm pretty sure left-handed outfielder from Korea. I don't know too much about him, but I think maybe Yamamoto's more likely than Jung-Ho Lee.
God, that would rock.
And by the way, always be
going into the free. I think every single free agent is gone from the Blue Jays this year, besides Jordan Hicks.
Started to sound like it in that.
I think Ryu's gone. I think Chapman couldn't be more gone. Kevin Kiermaier's gone. I mean, that tweet that he sent was pretty much saying like, "Thank you, but I'm done here." Belt is going to retire. It's literally just Jordan Hicks or nothing coming back here. Whit Merrifield's going to go to like the fucking Tigers or some shit. And we're never going to hear from him again.
And Ryu's going to go to the Orioles.
Yeah.
All right. Let's oh, holy shit. Okay. Yeah, gave 14 awards this. Playoff predictions for the rest of the MLB playoffs. Kind of tough now that some things have happened. But where are we at?
The Texas Rangers are insane. What the fuck?
What happens when you can hit?
They can stick, man.
Like, I genuinely do think it's just the Texas Rangers and that's it. like for the AL. I don't think the Astros or anyone else competes with them. I mean, the Astros got work tonight. Texas Rangers have literally dominated from the first inning of the Rays series until now. They have just not stopped. They are fucking insane.
I'd agree with that. The Phillies just seem to have the Braves number, which is always interesting after the Braves have a crazy one. The Orioles can't pitch. Surprise. Kind of gets heightened in the playoffs as well.
I mean, that today, Grayson Rodriguez, he's my guy, friend of mine, official guy. The lights got too bright. I mean, he walked a million fucking guys and just gave up moon bombs. So, Oh my God, Dak Prescott, another pick. That's 2 interceptions in the last 2 drives. But yeah, no, I think the coolest World Series for me, Avery, would be Rangers Phillies. Those games would have infinite runs. Infinite runs.
I think the Rangers kind of look cool in the playoffs as well. I don't know what it is about them, but I remember when they were doing the Cardinals World Series that they ended up losing. I just think the Texas Rangers have cool shit, and that them in the playoffs I think is always cool for some reason. I don't know why, but I do.
Without DeGrom too, you know.
And Max Scherzer I saw throwing live, so I don't know when.
He did.
I was watching clips of it.
The Rangers with Scherzer and DeGrom. Imagine that. Holy fuck.
Yeah, they have okay starting pitching and a shitty bullpen, and they score a million runs, so it doesn't even matter. All right, do we keep our window open to stay competitive by making trades and free agent signings, or sell some decent players on the roster? We probably won't sell them, but let the free agents walk and let the young guys come up. Martinez, Barger, Schneider, Horwitz play next year. I think it's got to be a mix.
My scary thing with that is that turns us into like a quote unquote rebuilding type of team. When you're just half of your lineup is rookies, that is not a good recipe, in my opinion, at least. Like, you're gonna have to replace.
Like, look at the Rangers, like Evan Carter.
But they also have like 3 guys that just fucking rake in that lineup.
And the Blue Jays should have that too, 100%. I'm not saying 4 rookies in the lineup. I'm saying 2 maybe.
I think there's options the Jays have, man. I mean, you could definitely like that Barrera kid could get traded, who's a good prospect, I believe.
Barriera,
whatever. I don't know. Fucking make me fucking learn your name, son. But there's some prospects they could dangle for sure. I think. I don't know, but are they going to be able to compete? I can see the
last year we were in a way worse spot, and then they just completely restructured. So I think it's pretty clear what we need.
Yeah,
I think pitching is completely fine. Maybe if there's too many people will walk, they get a piece for the bullpen. The rotation is more than fine. Manoah's going to be given a shot to prove himself.
Bowden Francis is too.
Yeah, and then you just need a couple power bats that you could slide into this middle of the order. And then maybe they dabble for like a blockbuster to get like a star-studded, lefty in the top 4, because obviously Varsho is probably not going to be that.
YJ just had the funniest tweet I've ever seen. YJ just tweeted, "I need Alejandro Kirk to come into camp in worse shape and hit 340 next year."
That would be
holy fuck.
That would be something
else. This is what the Jays need, and I keep alluding to this. I have Jorge Soler power. I have Soler fever. Throwing him in this lineup, a guy that just says fuck average, fuck singles, I'm just a home run guy. They need that. All right. We need more guys that just slang it and bang it. More Kyle Schwarber. Give me a 190 hitter that hits 45 fucking home runs. That strikes out 180 times. Give me that. Feed me that. That's what I want.
That'll be that would be interesting to see the Blue Jays take a guy like that. But I would love that. See fucking 50 home runs, something like that. Not a question, but a suggestion. Every episode in the offseason, go in depth on 2 of the 3 Jays players, how we felt they did this year, and meeting expectations. And now we could definitely.
I feel like people won't like that though.
We could do a quick. It doesn't have to be long.
Okay.
What are the top 5 games we've watched this season? Worst 5 games we watched this season. I can't remember. Like
Top
It
five and
all
top
lumped
five.
into one. The entire year was shit. Okay.
it really was. One of the worst ones was the Dodgers Eric Swanson blow up. That was probably my least favorite game of the year
Really? Mine was
because it was going so well, and
mine was that Mariners game. Do you remember that? Early on?
Yeah,
When the Jays blew like a chance to sweep the Mariners, and that was the worst one for me. That game fucking sucked.
yeah, I think Jared and I were on plane to Mexico for that one.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Though that was the Sunday in Seattle when they had that massive lead and Nate Pearson and all those fucking guys blew it.
In
By the way,
Seattle. No, we were not in Mexico for that one.
yeah, I remember I was at the park with Alto sweating it. I was like, oh, they lost. But yeah, that was probably I can't remember the good ones, to be honest. I really can't. I mean, the Kevin Biggio home run against Minnesota, probably.
Jano had a couple walk-offs, right?
The Jano Detroit walk-off, the Jano Atlanta Braves home run with the Jano home run against the Tigers, 2 outs, 2 strikes in the 9th to hit a home run to tie it up, and the Jays won in extras. That's probably my favorite game of the year. And of course, that was the game the next day after the no-hitter that we missed. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, worst game of the year was the fucking no-hitter. How'd we forget about
Yeah. It was the Jays getting no hit by a bum.
Yeah, we were there for that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Are the Astros going to avenge the Blue Jays again?
Tonight doesn't look like it. Framber Valdez got his dick shoved in, bro.
Yep. And
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't feel hatred for the Minnesota Twins.
Me neither. I don't care.
No,
They were a better team.
Mhm.
Yeah, they played less shitty than the Blue Jays did. So hats off to them. Should we sign Jorge Soler if Belt leaves? Belt's gone.
No, Belt's gone. Belt's already in Cancun, kicking his feet up,
Fishing.
Yep, he's on a deep sea fishing cruise right now.
Jorge Soler's 31. Interesting. I thought he was
But
older
he
than that.
fucking swings like YJ says, the big stick.
Does he ever?
He's got a hammer.
He does have a hammer cock. And the Jays got to make that up with Brandon Belt.
Mhm.
I
They
mean,
do.
Soler hit fucking 36 bombs this year. That would have led the Jays by 10.
Let's see how many expected home runs he would have had at Rogers Center. 35.
Okay.
Fucking
Yep.
right.
We're Soler truthers, folks.
Mhm.
And
I'm
then-
all in.
Oh my god, he swings it, dude.
He just swings it and swings it and swings it. That's what he does.
I'm about to just tweet his longest home run of the year. I'm gonna.
We
download
want
it.
Soler. Give me Soler. The
That one he
pitching's
hit-
fine.
that
Keep
one
the
he hit in
pitching
the
with what
playoff.
it's at. We're not losing anyone on that pitching staff. That bullpen's staying the exact
Mhm.
same, beside Hicksy maybe, but everything's staying there. The bullpen is the exact same, which kind of rocks, Avery. Like, I don't know, Jimmy Garcia might be gone, I think.
No, he got like an automatic new deal or something because of the innings he pitched.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. Love to
So
see
Chad
that.
Green's got that weird option thing that they can.
It's a
do.
team option, though, I thought, no?
There's multiple options on his. It's a very interesting contract that they signed him to.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, it should be a pretty good bullpen. I don't think we can expect it to be as good or better than last year, but it should be very, very good.
Same with the staff, too. We're only losing Ryu,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly. And I think they have people who can fix that. And it's a
Bowden Francis could be that guy, slot in the 5 spot, right?
100%. I think they should try and stretch him out to be that guy.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got. Sorry if you guys.
Oh my
clustered
God,
your-
Doc just threw another pick. That's 3 picks and 3 possessions. But those are probably already all. Those were all the good questions, though. No.
Yeah, a bunch of them were just lumped in together. So sorry, you guys did a bad job of highlighting them and talking
Yeah.
too much in there. If I missed it, my bad.
But anyways, man. I know I said this in the video, and that a lot of you guys responded to us. Crazy year, man. Obviously we're gonna take like a 2-week break here, kind of just relax, live our life a little bit. Maybe you'll get a vlog out of us. If we go to Philly this weekend, the owner's box will post it. Obviously, it'll be in the owner's box
You
stuff.
want to talk about the possible Buffalo plans?
Oh, we're going to Buffalo with Ernie and the Cincy boys. Me, Ernie, Avery, Alto, Curtis. We're going to hang out with Ernie.
I think we
Me
should.
and Ernie had a drunk text. I got to read the text messages. These are the funniest things ever. So I was at Paris, Texas on Friday. And by the way, if you're those listeners, so I got asked for a picture in a booth, and these kids made me stay there. They didn't make me, I guess. I kind of stayed there on my own. But and they just handed me 4 shots. So I just took 4 shots in like a 2-second time period. I genuinely don't remember anything after that. So Ernie sends me a picture of him and his girl at the bar, and he goes, Jays World Series 2024. So I sent him a picture of me and Alto. I go, we miss you. Sabres game suit. He said, oh yeah, big. He said, oh yeah, kid. Meet in Buffalo, big kid. This is at like 12:30. I said, see you next week, brother. He said, the kid. And then I sent him a picture of Alto and just said, miss you. It was just a never-ending loop of just miss you and see you soon, kid. That's all it was. That's all it was. So just all time. But yeah, we will be doing that. We'll be going to Buffalo. Sabres Flyers, I believe, November 3rd. I have a question. Maybe someone can answer this. My passport expires in November. Is that at the end of November?
It says on the passport. It's on
What
your
are you talking about? Oh, it says an actual date.
Yeah, it does say it should say a date on your passport.
Sometimes they don't let you in though if it's a month.
Just get that shit renewed.
You have to get that.
It'll take a while though, no?
I don't think so. There's just like a big backlog right now, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, so it'll take a while. Whatever. I'll figure it out. But
yeah.
I think I should be good. Okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. But anyways, man, like I said, crazy year of my life. Sport's been crazy. Everyone's saying where's Gate 14 goes, where's Gate 14 going. We're still gonna be doing 1 pod a week, obviously. Get some guys tapped in here. Get some Blue Jays guys. We're gonna get Horowitz on here. Obviously, we got close with Horowitz too. We went to the bar. I got 5 or 6 right now, 100% guys lined up to come back on the pod in the offseason. So that's 5 or 6 weeks right there. Tapped in. So we'll be good. And I'm gonna try to get Guillermo. I'm gonna try to get Guillermo on. But
you want Guillermo to come on?
That would be funny. We get that because if we could treat it like a CNN interview, we could just like be like, Guillermo.
Okay, we're not gonna cut this out because I edit it, but it would almost be better to do like a tell-all if he gets fired.
We'll make the episode Guillermo Martinez tells all exclusive.
I don't even know how you stay serious if you ask him like what your approach was with the players, you know?
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I have what it takes. I don't know.
I think that.
But we got some fun stuff, man. The Johnny versus Avery saga will continue. I don't know why we did that in season. That was so dumb. With how much
we were outside, like it was very funny at the time too.
Yeah, it was funny at the time.
That's like that's how our brains work. We want to do something. We just go fucking do it. We're not gonna.
It'll be funnier in the off season to do that though.
Yeah,
for sure. But anyways, man,
the Ontario Blue Jays clubhouse to do a Johnny versus Avery.
And there'll be like a show. There'll be tons of kids watching that. We'll have a crowd. But as always, man, love you guys. See you guys in 2 weeks. Hopefully, when we talk to you guys, the Phillies are in the World Series or close to it, so we can kind of talk about our boy B. Stott and Schwarber going off. But love you guys, man. JR, Avery, anything for the people?
Thank you.
Words of wisdom.
Thank you, the people.
No words of wisdom. Do your schoolwork.
There you go.
Read your books.